Hi guys, 14 Prime here, back another custom review. And today we look at the Transformers Bayverse Motorbreath. So here he is in truck mode, but of course we'll look at him. So let's take a quick look at the paints. So as per usual, I did use some light gray primer and semi-gloss clear coats. As well as some TS29 semi-gloss black, TS71 smoke, as well as, if it'll focus, some regular semi-gloss black, chrome silver, lemon yellow, gunmetal, and purple. So here he is in his truck mode, and I know this is a Rise of the Beast toy, but I just felt like making it one of those random Bayverse repaints. And plus, I mean, I figure if Bayverse Prime looks as Bayverse Prime does, it gives them a bit more, I don't know, differentiation, makes them more unique. It's a Motorbreath custom, you know, like it's just a label I'm putting it under. But here he is in his truck mode. He does look very, very nice. This is, of course, the mainline Optimus Prime. I chose this one because Motorbreath has a lot of gray on him. And so this Prime is molded almost entirely in gray. So I said, hey, that'd be a really good base for it. Which, fun fact about Motorbreath, this is like the only name I can think of in Transformers that has had a repaint from both Optimus Prime and Megatron at different points. Which, yes, if you don't know what this is based on, it's based on like a Generations Optimus Prime repaint that I really like for some reason. And I actually recorded this video about a month ago, but I was ill, and I went to hear how my voice sounded in the video afterwards. It sounded terrible. So I was like, yeah, I'm not putting that up. But at that time, I had not bought a Motorbreath, but now I have bought one. But the seller took forever to ship it, so it isn't here today, unfortunately. But I have photos. I just Google photos. But anyways, custom itself. Of course, most of it is just black with gray. Some little yellow lights there. Painted the windshield trim, which actually I think I did it with this gray. I completely forgot about that. Some sky gray. Here we go. Which I do think looks really nice. It makes the whole thing pop like super well. Like, of course, this is more detailed than that Legends toy, but like I want to keep a lot of the spirit of its color scheme around, but also add more gray. This little speck of red. Go away. Back pretty much unchanged. It's just what it is. I did take off all the blue on the legs. So there's that little purple gas cans. The Motorbreath staple, purple gas cans. It's like the only thing I really have to base them on is the fact of it's black with like grayish white legs, purple windows, purple gas cans, I think yellow eyes. And then the rest of it I just messed around. I did also use some of that dye again, like I did on Shatterglass Impactor, for this part of the chest, which you see more of after this lifts up, and then these pieces, these pieces right there. So it worked on them. Unfortunately, I tried to dye this part too, but it ended up not working, and I just destroyed the part, so I had to get a whole other toy that is now in pieces in my customs box. Which for that dye, it's this dye. Which, I know it's purple, but it looks very black. Even though I can't say this time around, in certain lighting, it does just go back to purple. Like, I guess it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but like, I can see more of the purple in it this time around, at least on this part. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get Motorbreath here into his robot mode. And here in robot mode, he just looks very, very nice. Like I said, this is based on Motorbreath, so the bottom like legs from his all just gray, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because like if you think about it in the sense of clothing, are these like leg warmers, or is he just wearing something over his thighs? This is just a thought I had while painting this custom. But he does look quite nice. I did add, of course, details that like the original like Optimus of the mold didn't have, like a lot of this gunmetal. I think the original one just painted like this part, and then I added a little bit on the sides, painted up this bit a bit. Because I think on the original toy, it's like this part's the grill, then around it's something. But I just painted some silver on the sides and then gunmetal in the middle. Add some dimension. Of course, these are like little joint pieces here, which I realized after the fact, these probably could have been dyed. But I just didn't really bother with them, or like the ones in the feet right there. I did try to get those out, but I couldn't. A little close-up on the head, if I can get up there. Has those nice yellow eyes and the gunmetal faceplate. Which that was really difficult to do because I couldn't split the head at all. So he's just kind of, actually, to get a bit closer. Getting so far away. I also had to shave down his ears a little bit, because these would clip during the transformation, so I like filed them down a little bit. So now he's got little nubs. He's got some nice, cute little nubs for his ears. Now, one thing I thought about halfway through this custom, because for some reason it never occurred to me until then, was the fact that the Motorbreath, like the Legends toy, had a sword, and so I was like, shoot, I want this guy to have a sword. So I dug around in my parts bin. It's more like a bag. I have like a bag of weapons, and then a bag of heads, and then just a box of junker parts. Anyway, and I got a Prime Dreadwing sword, and this is where the smoke came in, where I actually sprayed it over, so it had the sort of like fade effect instead of the gray. Because if I remember correctly, the original one, the blade was just black, like it's just molded in black. But I didn't want it to be the same color as the rest of him, so I decided to spray the sword itself in smoke, like heavily from the top, and then just go down to have this nice little bit of fade. Which I think turned out alright. I kind of got some of the hilts, like a little bit, but it's not too bad. Which this figure holds a sword very well. Like, I wish you just had a sword. This looks really nice. You can get him into some really good. He can point the sword, and they just didn't give him one. He has the articulation to point his sword. And they were just like, nah. Like, he can do it. It's awesome. I don't even think, like, the Studio Series one that's now discontinued can do that. Like, man can... Let me see if I can get him to do a good pose. Like, man can pose. Which one of my favorite thing about this mold is how just poseable it is. Like, that really impressed me for this thing, because I initially was just going to skip it because I wanted the Studio Series one more, and the original one just really didn't feel like it was worth $35. Like, I heard in Canada these were cheaper than regular Voyagers, but in the US they're the same price. And just, yeah, like, none of them are worth, like, a regular Voyager price. Like, they're a bit too simple and, like, lacking in paint, or they're like Optimus, where the mold itself is pretty alright, but they molded everything in, like, one color. So the paint looks more lackluster because they had to use so much of it for color correction. But, like, the articulation on this thing is insane. Like, it's really good. It's, like, proper, like, especially the feet, how they go forward and back, and then they have, like, a really good tilt. The fact that he has, like, a built-in ab crunch, and then the whole, like I said, like, ball-jointed wrists. Why did that team go so hard on the articulation for this thing? Only for, like, them to botch it with the paint and the sculpted parts. But more in hand with the custom, I just think this looks really nice. Like, it looks different enough from the Rise of the Beasts Studio Series Optimus, to where it's, like, more of its own thing. Because this is a lot more closer to the Bumblebee movie Optimus. Like, this is basically a simplified version of, like, the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Optimus. Like, it has a similar vibe. Like, it has the whole thing sticking up at the top here and the stripe. Like, it sort of has that stripe going on the side, too, in truck mode, but, like, only 2 parts of it are actually painted. At least on the regular one. I thought about doing it on this one, but I want to keep that full black cab he had going on. That's why even the side windows aren't even painted. So I want to keep that aesthetic going. But yeah. Overall, he's a very fun figure. Like, other than just the custom work, like, it's fun. If you find it for, like, deluxe price, or maybe, like, $28, I think $28 would have been the perfect price for these things. But if you can find it for about that much, I'd say it's worth getting. But paying full price, nah. Or if you want a Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus that bad, I think there's a knockoff coming out. Just get that. Because for some reason, Target already discontinued it. I still don't get that. Like, does Hasbro have no influence? Like, they couldn't be like, hey, you know, a lot of people want this. You guys can make some serious cash if you just asked us to make more. Like, I don't know. I don't know how this works. But yeah. Overall, fun custom. Sucks I had to use 2 of them, but fun custom nonetheless. I am doing more Rise of the Beast customs here and there, praying that the Battlemaster Air Razor can get to my hands. I really hope it just doesn't get canceled. We've had a little bit of luck so far. Like, everything has popped up on Amazon. Like, I have the that RC with Cheetor, and I'm working on a custom from that right now. It's in parts over there. Move back to this table just as soon as this video ends. I got a little thing going on with the Battlemasters. I got 2 out of 3 done. If you follow me on socials, you'll know what it is. I mean, if you follow me on socials, you saw this like 2 months ago. You saw this custom like 2 months ago from me. And then I have a Rise of the Beast related custom happening, but it's not from a Rise of the Beast toy. It's just a Rise of the Beast kind of year. And then the Bot Shots combiner should hopefully be continuing soon. I finally have the 4th limb. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, and it took me even longer to actually get the toy. But it's on the way. Everything will be ready for that. Probably after this one, I might do that right quick, and then jump to the other Rise of the Beast related one. But we'll see. Oh, I guess it's not really post videos too much anymore, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to say it to you guys in the next month. I am going to TFCon this year. TFCon Orlando. I think it's like from the 20th to the 22nd. I'll be walking around, so I mean, if you see me, come say hi. I don't really know the last time I had my face in a video though, so maybe I'll do one right before the con. If I do another video before then, I should. I really hope I do. I hate that I'm not uploading weekly. I'm sorry, guys. There's some weekends where I just can't film, or there's just stuff going on where I don't have time to like work on something worth doing a video on. That, like, makes sense. Like, I could review, you know, Legacy Evolution Bludgeon, but, you know, like, do you guys want me to do that? Like, do you really want me to do it? But yeah, anyways, rambling over. That's pretty much all I have to say. So, be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews. Don't forget to subscribe. You can also come check out my Facebook and Twitter pages. Links in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.